I say good evening to you. Just to let you know, tonight it's again another hot episode of I Write. Of course, when I say good evening to those of you who are joining us on Facebook, those of you who are joining us on the Hitz FM app, that's right. Good evening to you guys. Those of you who are listening on 92.1 and of course 91.1, want to say good evening to each and every one of you. Stay tuned right now for another hot episode of I Write, and that's coming up right now.
Previously on I Write.
So the HR rep told me that I was not fired, but suspended.
So what's the difference?
Well, I think when you're suspended, it's for a time, and you can return to your work after a time. And there's also suspended with pay or without pay. Could you imagine? The woman told me that I was suspended because of my type.
Your type?
Yes. And honey, do you know what that type is?
No.
Are you ready for this one, Louise?
I don't think I am, eh?
They think I am gay.
What?
When? Please, can I see Lincoln?
Cynthia, I don't think it's appropriate for you to be here right now. Let him take his punishment. Let Lincoln pay for his crime. Cynthia, Lincoln just hit you. The blood not even dry on your face yet.
You know something, Lincoln? The truth, I have been in love.
Owen, I'm finished here.
Good morning, miss. May I speak with your supervisor, please?
One moment, please. There is someone here to see you. Okay. She will be right with you, ma'am.
Yes, madam. May I help you?
Good morning, miss.
You could just call me Meredith.
Okay. Good morning, Meredith. My name is Louise George.
Louise George? Did you have an appointment?
I don't think so.
So, how may I help you, Mrs.
George.
How may I help you, Mrs. George?
Well, I'm here for my husband.
And who might that be?
Evan George.
Evan George. Evan George?
Yes, he was in here a few days ago about his suspension.
George. Oh, Evan, that troublemaker.
Troublemaker? What do you mean?
Well, he came in here demanding I find out why he was let go.
And?
Well, I told him that he was under investigation.
For?
Wait a minute. Who did you say you were again?
Louise George. Mrs. Louise George.
Oh, he's married.
But that's not the point.
What is the point, Mrs. George?
I am here as Evan's representative.
Oh, so you are his lawyer?
You can't say that.
And you want to find out about...
Evan, and the purpose of his being fired from your establishment.
Well, as you should know, I'm actually new on this job and not very acquainted with all employees.
But you were the one who dealt with him, right?
I think so.
So what did he do?
According to reports, Evan did not comply with the statutes of this establishment.
Such as?
Malfeasance.
What?
Malfeasance, Mrs. George, is a lack of integrity due to deception in any form or fashion.
Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you saying that Evan lied on his job?
He did.
About what?
I'm afraid that I cannot divulge the information.
But how? I am his representative, and I demand that you provide such information.
Actually, miss, what did you say your name was again?
Mrs. George.
Mrs. George, there is an ongoing investigation into the matters complained about your husband.
Matters? Did I hear correctly?
Did I stutter?
What matters?
I said...
I know what you said, Matilda.
Meredith. My name is Meredith.
Sorry, Miss Meredith. There must be a way to deal with whatever issues at hand. Evan has a family, you know.
And?
Miss Magdalene.
Meredith.
Do you have a family?
Nope, and I do not want any.
Children?
Don't want any.
Well. Aren't you a piece of work, Miss Melissa?
Mrs. George, if you cannot respect me and my office and call me by my right name, I will have to ask you to leave.
What did you say your name was again?
Meredith. My flipping name is Meredith.
Excuse me? How professional.
Ma'am, you have come into my office without any prior appointments and are making demands on me that I cannot fulfill.
You cannot fulfill?
Mrs. George, what would you like so you can get the hell out of my office?
All I need are reasons why I cannot enjoy a proper family meal with my family.
If you should really know, Mrs. George.
Yes, I should really know.
Well, Mrs. George, we no longer need people like your husband. Mr. Evan George is dark.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by dark? You saying he's evil, undercover, black skin? I'm not sure what you're saying there.
His darker appearance has caused a number of our clients to seek alternative forms of accommodation. And they have gone to our competitors.
Really? So because of his darkness, you claim he was incompetent? So you decided to send him chasing after the wind?
That's right.
But that makes absolutely no sense. And so is being black a crime? Is that against your policy too?
Mrs. George, I truly cannot help you there. I am just doing my job.
Still, help me to understand why somebody would lose a job because of his skin color. You'll need to change that policy, else I will report it.
You're already too late.
What do you mean I am too late?
Your poor excuse of a husband already has the Labor Department snooping around this hotel.
Good for him.
And that's not all. We have photos of him with questionable characters.
Questionable characters?
Yes.
Doing what?
I am sorry. I am not at liberty to disclose.
Are you really? A man's family is almost languishing in poverty and you say you're sorry. I'm sure there's something you can do.
Ma'am, I cannot help you. If I could, I would.
Then, so, show me the pics.
Mrs. George, I do not have to show you anything.
Miss Margaret, you are in my space. And if you really did have proof, it would not be a problem. I say you do not have any proof of anything. And you just fired Evan because of your own prejudices, which are false, no doubt. So please, get out of my space.
Well, make me move her. Your husband has done enough damage by letting those rats in.
You are now in my face. And all I'm asking is proof that my husband, Evan, has compromised his integrity. Proof.
All you niggas and paupers need to go to hell.
I'd already tell you to get out.
What is it? Oh my God!
My
stop! Don't
face.
Oh no!
Funny.
What's so funny, Lincoln?
You.
Me.
Yeah, man. Look at you, all grown up. How does it feel?
How does what feel?
Well, to see you put your best friend behind bars.
Lincoln, you put your own self in jail. Don't come with that.
Oh, okay. I remember when you first came to me, a little rat wanting to know about the force. You were so innocent then, enthusiastic about guns and all.
And?
Well, thanks to me, you are what you are today.
Okay, yeah. Thanks. Thank you very much.
And today, you have wiggled your way into my life, my family, my all. And here we are. I in jail. And you?
Lincoln, this was all your own doing.
Yeah.
I kept warning you over and over. But would you listen?
Wait a minute. So, when did you warn me about wanting my wife? Huh? Yes, you begin now. Man, you good, you know. You play me good.
That's not true, Gassa.
You calling me Gassa now? I call me Gassa. You're not my damn friend.
Lincoln, you know what happened. And I kept warning you about the consequences of your actions. No, but you kept doing your own thing and boasting about it, man.
Yeah, but all the time your eye on my woman.
But your eyes were...
Sacre vicieux.
Your eyes were on other women. So what's your point?
But that is how we roll. Man to man. You had no right finding yourself there in the first place.
Let me see who bien copa is on.
Wait.
You did not want your own woman. And just like they say, share pavle banana,
May Pavle pull la becte. The doctor want the food, but it preventing the fowl from enjoying it. What kind of thing is that?
Wait a minute.
How that working?
You are damn fool, you know. If you think you can step in my place.
You think it's your place I want? Lincoln.
What else?
A man knows when he has seen a good woman.
Oh.
You had a good woman.
Oh. Well, sir.
I know.
Oh, you know? You know? Well, I have people who can get me out of jail. Just like that.
Okay. So where are they? Huh?
Where are they?
Need I remind you, Lincoln, that nobody, not I, not even you, a retired inspector, is above the law.
Shit you're talking.
But that's the truth. And while we are at it, I need to tell you a couple of things.
And now Mr. Perfect wants the floor.
Man, you need to learn to respect others. You seem to be lacking in that regard, man.
We both do. Now, you want to tell me? You want to lecture me? Go on, Papi, go on.
Lincoln, from times I've been trying to tell you, you need to do away with the way it has beat the woman.
My violence against women? Look at you. You used to enjoy my little soup show when I brought it, you know, when I bring them and laughing and thing.
True, I used to laugh and think, but one day it had to stop, of course.
Stop?
I couldn't take it anymore, man. But you didn't seem to notice when I was serious. I was trying to tell you, you could get into trouble.
Nonsense!
Yeah, you will always say that.
But you know it's rubbish you're talking.
Not only that, Lincoln. The homophobia, the thing against Al. Man, to me that is the height of your behavior, your disregard for other people. That's the problem.
So now you go and teach on me. Teach me, teacher. Teach me.
Lincoln, you know I'm grateful for the ways you took me under your wing during my training years.
Yeah, and thanks for nothing.
Man, but I could not just sit down and just watch you ridicule people, hurting others. Abo the abo first. Every rope have its end, Kuma.
But look at you trying and play you clean. But you're more dirty. You took everything I was saying and you played against me. Kasa, you're the biggest accomplice.
Yeah. You know you have a point.
You think I stupid?
Yeah, but you had me captive.
Wait.
I tried to stop you from your ways. You're destroying everything. You're so destructive. But I didn't have the courage to intercept, to go against you. You were my senior officer and everything, man. That couldn't be easy. That wasn't easy for me.
So now you're playing victim card. You are just as guilty, Owen.
You're right, as always, Lincoln. Don't worry. You don't need to worry about all that now because she decided to forgive your viciousness, your vicious dealings. Your own daughter, Lincoln. Your daughter. What kind of soul are you? She wanted to visit you, but I cautioned her against it.
Best news I've heard for the day.
Man, I don't know how you do it. You have everything, but you appreciate nothing.
What everything? What everything? Boy, you ain't know the half of it.
What are you griping about now?
Was Mototo who caused all of this, you know.
Lincoln, what does your mother-in-law have to do with any of this?
You think she easy? She ain't easy at all, you know.
I'm trying to tell you about your behavior. Behaving yourself. And you want to lay blame. It's the same thing again, Lincoln. You need to take responsibility for your own actions. Man, all human beings have rights. All of us are people and well deserving of respect. That's what you need to understand.
Whatever.
Respect, man. Respect for your wife, your daughter. Al. Hell, man. Everybody. Just change your damn ways.
Inspector Owen!
What's this document here? You are hereby notified that... well, Lincoln, my partner, your case will be called tomorrow, please God.
What case?
You really forgetting fast, eh? Your wife brought a case against you.
That wretch!
Well, you might have to shy here, Lincoln.
But why so soon? Look, them fellas have been here weeks and nothing yet.
Well, count it your lucky day. The magistrate is going on vacation, it seems, in a few days, and wants all matters dealt with promptly, so you know what that means.
Owen,
what?
My anniversary soon come, and I...
Now you want to talk about your anniversary? Now?
Listen, man, listen. It's not my fault I behave in the way...
So, of course. You always want to lay blame on somebody else. Whose is it now?
Matuto, man. She tied me.
She's the reason for all of this.
Yes, man. If I tell you what she did, you know, she made me drink some...
Okay, and Al. And what about Eve? Whose fault is it that you treated them the way you have?
No, Jim, what these are the shows have? What these sort of show? Of course, I want to say good evening to you all guys once again, to everybody who is listening tonight. Good evening to each and every one of you. Of course, I want to say good evening to the folks on Facebook. Of course, I want to say good morning to my very, very good... good morning, good evening, good night. Sorry. I don't know why the good morning came out. But anyway, maybe lack of sleep. But I'll say, of course, go on and say good evening once again to each and everybody. The number to call this evening, 458-2488 if you have a contribution to make. That's right, 458-2488. Our WhatsApp platform, 489-4781. Of course, if you are calling on the international side, you just need to use the 758 before the 458-2488. And of course, 758-489-4781. Of course, I want to say good evening to Mr. Colin Alexander. Yes, good evening to you, sir. Thanks for joining. And of course, as usual, yes. Mr. Bennett Charles. Good evening to you, sir. Of course, I want to say good evening to DJ Shorty, who's always listening. I want to say good evening to Burns. Good evening to you. And of course, good evening to all the others who are listening online. Now, I'm going to take the last one first. Now, you know, sometimes we in the in the lion's den, you know, but we don't feel that we can get bite by the lion. Some of us really feel that when we do certain things, we can get away with it. And as the case with Lincoln again, Lincoln of course have. So I'm going to deal with the little ferocious part first, and then we'll get into the more serious matter. Okay? So Lincoln, of course, is facing off with Owen. As you heard, he faces off with him. Owen lets him know that, look, man, that everything is your fault. I have always been telling you that, look, man, you're messing around. You need to cool out yourself. But because Lincoln was an inspector, Lincoln thinks he's a bad boy. Lincoln feels that that's Cynthia and Eve and everybody that, you know, that was his property, so he could have done anything that he wants. Well, Owen and Lincoln are having a very, very good conversation as far as I am concerned, and they're having a heart-to-heart. And Lincoln is confronting Owen about his wife, how he know Owen loves Cynthia, and all kind of thing like that, and so on and so on. Of course, I want to say good evening to Samantha Eugene. Good evening to you. Yes. Lincoln pani PS bagay pudi. Calling the man all kind of names. You know? Well, Lincoln now has to face the consequences of his actions. And he feels he's going to get away with it until Owen telling boy, boss man, you're going to court tomorrow because the magistrate say they're dealing with everything. And he thinks that he's going to get away with it. Yes? Of course, somebody's already saying, yes, Lincoln and the blame game. Well, Lincoln, my friend, okay, and of course there are a lot of Lincolns out there that feel that they can, do the same things that Lincoln have done. Of course, be abusive to their wives, be abusive to their children. They think that, that they treat them as property instead of, loved ones, and you think you're going to get away. Well, here's a lesson for each and every one of you. Lincoln now has to face the consequences of his actions. His wife has brought a charge against him, and Owen is teasing him, but teasing him in a serious way. That means you are going to have to leave the house, okay, based on the charge that your wife has brought against you. You're going to have to move away from Cynthia. And you know how it is. You know how it is in St. Lucia. And of course, in a lot of Caribbean countries, and of course, around the world. You have a typical husband, typical wife living in a household. The husband wants now to be abusive, or has become abusive, or is abusive from the get-go, and he thinks he is untouchable. There are laws for such things. There are laws for such things. The women in the situations like that now have to have the strength to stand up and say, this is enough. I need to get out of it. And sometimes it is very hard, because at that point when you see you are being abused and you are being battered and you're being cursed at and yelled at and all kind of thing, your self-esteem drops. You lose all faith and you lose all confidence. You it's as if you're weak. Everything is taken away from you. It takes a lot of strength to come back from that. And it is comforting to know that Cynthia has had that kind of support from Owen, who again happened to witness Lincoln at his best, beating on his wife in the presence of a police officer. And of course he had to step in. And I believe that is where the strength really did come for Cynthia, when she says, something, I cannot take this anymore. Lincoln has, according to what we heard tonight, he has been giving licks to everybody, whether it's verbally, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, everything. Well, Lincoln, you're taking it, you're taking what you get. Okay? You are now in a situation where you're going to have to answer for what you have done. Bravo to Cynthia. One question I would very much like to put out there, and I'm hoping somebody could answer. After you have taken that action, after you have done what you needed to do to come out of that situation, ladies, women, even men too, how do you move on from that? How do you cope? What do you do? What kind of support structure is there for you to say, well, I'm going to pick myself up again. I am going to start the healing process. I am going to feel good about myself again. I'm going to go out there and be better. I'm just throwing the question out there. Somebody said, all the time he was sleeping, he just wake up and smell the coffee. Well, Lincoln, you're sticking that. Of course, somebody's saying, good night to everyone. Yes, somebody saying good night to everyone. But that is not what I really want to deal with tonight, because there's something that happened with Louise going to see the human resource lady. What's her name? Meredith? Yeah. At her husband's workplace. Now they have a very interesting convo. Very, 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 very interesting. And I'm saying it is very, very interesting. And it's it's very disturbing as well as interesting too, because these things happen right here in this 238 square mile island of St. Lucia, where we are supposed to be happy. So here we're going on with the lady now. They have an interesting convo. The HR behaves in a manner unbecoming, a HR rep. She starts to call Lincoln names. She starts to say, "You're calte. You have gone dark. Malfeasance." They start accusing the man of all kind of thing. You understand? The insults begin to pour and pour. Okay? Until, if you listen carefully, it gets physical. This woman is using words like, and pardon the words, people, pardon the words, the woman starts using the words nigger and pauper. Y'all people, we don't want y'all kind of ride. Tired. I'm sick and tired of y'all, and so on and so on. So you mean to tell me that is the kind of treatment that an employee has had to go through? That's what Evan had to go through. That is what Evan's wife had to come and deal with. And Evan's wife is going there to get answers, to find out why her husband has been dismissed. They're not telling him he's dismissed. They're telling him he's on suspension. They tell him there's an investigation, that he's been investigated for malfeasance and all sorts of things. We have a call. We have a call coming in. We're going to take that call. Hello, good evening. You are live. Good evening to you, my dear. Hello.
Hi, good night.
Hi, good night. How are you? Yeah, I'm waiting.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I am nice, great, wonderful, blessed, and all the rest, darling. Tell me. What do you think of tonight's show?
All right.
I know you're going to start with your favorite person, you know. I know you're going to start with your favorite person.
I don't start with Lincoln. I don't start with Lincoln tonight. I want to start with the unprofessional woman.
Darling, I was waiting for somebody to call, because the kind of things I want to say I cannot. It is very disturbing that, you know. But let's hear from you, darling. What do you think? Give me your views on that.
Okay. The unprofessional worker. Somebody comes
let me stop you there. The unprofessional
person speaking to you. The person speaking to you, you telling the person did I stutter? Did I stutter? You tell him yes.
Boy, I like to tell you.
Right?
Lisa do not treat like that.
She stated that she was not at the workplace for a long time.
Right.
She was not at the place for a long time.
Okay.
And she have all that to say. She have all that to say.
That's right. But that's right.
You know, like she know exactly what's going on, but she just stated that she was not there for so long. So why would you make statements like that?
You understand what I'm saying?
The other thing I would like. Pardon?
You know, yeah, I'm just saying. You understand what I'm saying? Why? You who just with it? Huh? Who just with it?
Yeah. And the other thing, so I would like to know if Louise is a lawyer for true, or did she go under false pretense?
Well,
because don't tell me all of a sudden you're interested.
No, but listen to me. Remember, Louise and Evan, they are married. Now, Louise is suffering as a result of Evan's you know, he's not working. The marriage is suffering because you know.
Listen, but she said she was his lawyer. Well, all of a sudden, last week she heard about the gay thing, and all of a sudden she's his lawyer because she wants to know what's going on. Why she didn't do that in the beginning? Why when she has soaps now she come in and push herself?
I should ask you that question. Yes.
I don't know. As the writers,
I want to.
Let me tell you.
Just hold on. I want to ask you that because you know you stand in the place of a woman also, and you know sometimes we overreact to certain things, and then when we get the truth now, we try and see how we can find a little soulagement to it. So maybe Louise is using that. I mean, she's actually standing up for her husband also, and you have to recognize that she's actually going to find out, you know, why these people or why the workplace has actually, you know, she wants the truth. She wants to know why. And I agree with her.
All of a sudden, last week she was telling his sister how he is GAY. They never tell you the man was GAY. You telling the sister he's GAY.
No, but remember,
so
hold on. You remember.
She actually gave the sister false news.
No, but just now. But if you listen, Evan was talking to Louise. Not it was Evan. Yes, Evan. Evan was talking to Louise, and Evan was telling him. Evan was telling Louise why. You know, he was recounting the experience, the conversation he had with the HR. Remember that, and she's freaking out as to just so. So she herself gone find out. That's what happened there. Not so. Okay, somebody mute the call. So we'll wait for her. But yes, and the question that has to go out, and I wish somebody could of course you could leave your comments and your questions on our Facebook page. You can also, call in like Kesia. Yes, you were saying, darling, go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to call you right back, okay?
Yes.
Call
okay.
you right back.
No problem, darling.
Yes, all right.
All right, okay. Yes, the number to call, don't forget the number to call, 758-458-2488. And of course, you can also get reach us on our WhatsApp platform at 489-4781. A question for everyone who's listening. Do you think there are situations in St. Lucia where workers have been discriminated against? Are you aware of it? Are you aware that still happens in our society today? Let's move away from the workplace. I went to a school where I had to sit down in the back of the class. Everybody had to answer the question before I got a chance. You know why? Because of the color of my skin. So I can identify with what is going on here. And to me, this is ridiculous. Here's a comment from DJ Shorty. Yes, it does. It does happen, and some of us encourage it instead of seeking help. I agree. Si pani situez, I pani vole. Now, when I say vole, you are encouraging the workers, or you're encouraging the employer to steal your daily bread from you, to steal your livelihood from you, to steal your family from you, to steal your happiness from you. Look at what's happening with Louise and Evan. Look at what's happening with them. Louise now have to go and try and defend herself. Now, let's get to the HR person. Is that the kind of person that any employee or any establishment would want to represent them? Does that exist in St. Lucia also? You understand? Let me ask another question. What are some of the major issues of discrimination you know of that happens at a workplace? I can give you one. Mania master's degree. Bon. Peace mania master's degree. Not to have a place. Put twat learning. When we twat learning experience. Amun just sorti l'école. Yo pan pièce qualité experience travail. Yo pas jamais fait travail là. Boom! They have a big job. Okay? You just with it. You say I'm gwek. You understand what I'm saying? These kind of things happen in our workplaces in St. Lucia. Yes. Of course, I want to say good evening to Mr. Alroy Gregg, of course, always listening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good evening to you, sir. Of course, I want to say good evening to your lovely wife, Natisha. Good evening. Yes, good evening. Yes. Let's get back to the part where the woman now begins to insult Louise. Poor job. Louise just come and find out information. Insult the woman. Y'all paupers and y'all niggers. Because of the color of the man's skin, the man is a dark fella, he cannot work there. What kind of thing is that? Another question. How important it is to have victim advocates in supporting persons in the redress process. I want somebody to call with that. I want somebody to call it. I want somebody to, yeah. Oh, Abuji, look at that. The call come back right away. Let's go. Good evening, darling. Welcome again.
Hi, good night. Me again.
Yes, Dudu, go ahead.
Yes, so like I was saying about Louise.
Yes.
Louise said she was a lawyer.
Well,
right?
I mean, but listen, darling.
Under false pretense, unless she is a lawyer for true.
But darling, listen to that.
Right?
Listen to that. Listen to that. If you want to go and find out something from somebody, okay? You have to go and find out something about your husband in a situation like that, or your boyfriend in a situation like that. Okay? The fact the man not working for months, money not coming in. Okay, so whatever that happened between y'all happened between y'all. But right now, you try and go and find out all the thing. You're not going to go there on the pretense that yes, I am in a position of authority. I want to know what happened. You won't do it.
Okay, no, I wouldn't do it.
Why?
I wouldn't do it.
Why wouldn't you do it?
I'm a lawyer, and then I don't act as a lawyer.
Well, she was asking the right questions.
Right away, I unsign all rebuttals. I unsign everything until I end up knocking the person that's working there.
No. She didn't hit the person first, you know.
She didn't hit. Of course, she fight with her.
She fight with her, but she didn't hit her first. You didn't know what happened, man. She said
because of the way the lady answered her. Because of the way the lady answered her, like, moving my way.
Hold on.
So right away.
Hold on. I wish we could have just played back that little clip so that you could listen to it again. Because the woman started getting upset with Louise because Louise was getting too close. Or Louise was kind of pressuring for the real response. She wanted that kind of response where why? She wanted the truth. Why did you fire Evan? They want to tell her.
Going in that person's face. You're not going in that person's
face. It is, but listen to that, darling. Darling, it is not her that went in the person's face. How you know it's her that went in the person's face? When I listen to the thing, you know what I hear? I hear the woman start getting vexed. I am tired of you niggers and poppers. The one that starts saying niggers and poppers that hit Louise first, you know. As if to like push her out of the office. That is what happened there. Now, how you mean you working in an establishment and you pushing the woman and you knocking her?
In the first place, you don't call people names, niggers and poppers in a workplace. That was unprofessional.
Exactly. I agree with you there. Now, let me ask you a question. What do you think, you know, should be done, okay, to assist men who are perpetrators of the violence with Lincoln? I want to come back to that, but I have to ask that question there because somebody is online asking that question too. They want to know what should be done, you know, to people. In your opinion, what you think should happen to Lincoln? We'll come back to Louise and them, but yeah. So far so good. Okay, now but remember it cuts both ways. So far goes so good. Lincoln getting what he wants.
So far so good. Lincoln getting what he needs, but you know Lincoln blaming Matoto now. How can you blame Matoto? How can you blame Matoto? Say Matoto give you love potion. Matoto probably give him love potion, but the love potion was for Matoto and him.
Oh. But you see,
let me tell you, Matoto give.
Let me ask you a question there.
Give you blood pressure for Cynthia to treat Cynthia so bad.
Okay, so let me ask you a question there. Let me ask a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay, Lincoln start to blame everybody else but himself for his problem. You don't see something. You understand what you understand what I'm saying? He starts to blame everybody else but himself for his attitude, for the way he sees things, for his violent behavior. What do you think? Okay, what services do you think? Do you think that there are any services that could help Lincoln to come out of that kind of,
I have to.
No, but I'm asking.
I have to think with Owen because Owen was strong enough.
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I was saying Owen.
Yes.
Owen was strong enough to break the wall, and that's the thing, to break the walls.
Okay.
Somebody was strong enough. Kina tried.
Didn't work.
Kina tried when she went to the pastor. It's not that it didn't work, but it only worked through. Only her mother went to the priest.
That's true.
And it's sort of, and she spoke. He never went to speak to the council or anything.
So that means it didn't work for Lincoln. So that means it didn't work for Lincoln. Huh? That means it didn't work for Lincoln.
it did not work for Lincoln because right now the time Lincoln didn't want to go because Cynthia was asking him to go. He never go. So right now he's someplace he cannot go nowhere. He cannot go and trouble nobody and he gets exactly what he
okay.
So the help he needs.
Well, of course, he's getting the help. It's some form of help he thinks because he is now going to have to understand that if you do something wrong, you have to pay for it.
A court date will not do nothing. That if there's me the judge, that I will send him somewhere.
Okay, so right. So that is my next question to you. Right now, that is my next question to you. What services are you aware of, or do you know of any services that will seek to assist men in that kind of situation, who are perpetrators of partner violence, who like to beat on their women? Do you think there are services available to help these men, get out of that nasty habit?
Well, they are, but you only receive the help if you really need it, if you really want it, if you're really willing to make the change. You can, but if only you're willing to do it, because if you cannot bring the horse to the water, you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink the water. So,
amen, sister.
So is Lincoln now for him to check himself and stop blaming everybody for his attitude.
Right.
And see that his friend Owen is only trying to help him. Changes always and love his wife. And I was saying Lincoln wanted the wife, but that's not what he was leading to. It was looking like it's another thing, but it's not, that he just only cares, about Cynthia enough to,
Yes. Well, so, I am hoping. Say that again.
Yes.
You were saying?
I said that's all my contribution for the night.
Okay, darling. You are as always an avid listener, and I really thank you for your contribution tonight. But let's we have to light a candle for Lincoln. We have to light a candle for Lincoln. We have to light a candle for Lincoln.
I will not waste my matches on Lincoln. Lincoln.
Okay. All right.
Lincoln don't deserve matches.
All right. Okay. All right. But there must be some kind of services that support service or support system, or some place that men like that, people who are always, they're perpetrators of partner violence. There has to be an institution or some support group or some service available to assist these men in changing their mindset, their attitude, and so on. Now, to be very honest, the 202 number, I think it works. If the man could call the 202 number, that's the first step. Okay? Now you could call the 202 number and say, I just beat my woman there, and I'm sorry, and I need to change it because I don't want to lose my woman. Usadisa. I reach into somebody down somewhere. Okay? The other number is 203, 203, 202, and 203. Yeah. Okay? Whatever number you call, 202, 203, 204. Men out there, they have help for you all out there. Call the number. Reach out to somebody. It has to touch you in some way, form, or fashion that you with your partner and you're just beating up the woman, cursing the woman, abusing the woman. No. You do not want it to reach in the hands of the police. From the time it reaches in the hands of the police, what do you think is going to happen? Separation. Now, some people, after they separate, they make it back. And sometimes things get a little better because people check themselves. But you have to seek help. There are counselors that you can go to speak to. Okay? You can go and speak to a pastor. You can go and speak to a priest. You can go down to the family court where there are counselors there also. Speak to them. Go and speak to the people. We need to get our men and some of the women too, don't feel like I am putting the women in it too. Some of the women too, we need to get y'all to understand that that is not the way to live. Okay? That is not the way to live. Okay? So please, reach up. You know, if you know of somebody right now, if you, I'm speaking to somebody tonight. If you know of someone tonight, okay, or somebody who is a perpetrator of partner violence, whether it be man or woman, reach out to that person. Sit down with that person. Hold the person by the hand. If you have to, you get the authorities to go to that person. Okay? And you talk to that person. Not necessarily to just put them in jail or to arrest them or to get them out of society. No. To help them. There are policemen who are trained, okay, sometimes to sit down and talk with you and let you see it a little in a different way. And let you see that if you continue that kind of behavior, it will end up very nasty, not just for you, but for the person that you instill in, the kind of violence you instill in on them. You check it, you bursting the person tail left, right, and center, and you feel everything is all right because you feel it's their property. There are people who can help you change that mindset and attitude. Now, you know, somebody just say family court isn't always in favor of us men. Of course, family court will not always be in favor of us men, because some of us men, I don't want to say certain things, some of us men just don't learn. Okay? On a bounce in, bounce out, I will say what I have to say. But yes, I might kind of agree with you, but it is the first step. That is where you can go to seek redress. You can start there and say, I need the help. You can go before the magistrate and, Mom, I'm sorry, I need the help. You, as the man, the perpetrator of violence, whether it's man or woman, you can go and ask for help. It sometimes begins with you, the person, the individual. You need to go and ask for help. And I'm sure if you ask for help, you will get help. Let us rewind again and go back to the HR thing here, because that is a very serious thing which occurs in our little home of St. Lucia. Okay? There are a lot of issues like that in many workplaces in St. Lucia, and people sometimes turn a blind eye to it. How you could tell somebody because he's dark he cannot work here? Huh? Because of malfeasance. You don't have no proof of the malfeasance. You're just making up things as you go along. First, he was gay. Then he wasn't performing properly. Now he's malfeasance. Now because of the color of his skin. What else are you going to say? You know, somebody's calling. Let's take that call. Good evening, sir. Good evening. You are live. How are you doing?
Hi, good night, Mr. Gary.
Yes, good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Hello?
Yes, I'm there. Yes.
Hi, so let me ask a question. If the employer is complaining that the person is black, the person is complaining, the employer is saying about his skin color, what is that person doing in a black person's country?
Well, you see, these are the questions. These are the kind of questions I try to understand too, because we live in a modern world.
Okay, you're so racial.
Hold on. Just now, hold on.
You're so racial.
Hold on, partner. Let me think. We live in a modern world. I do not think, and it should not be encouraged that people think that kind of way. You understand? If you, as the employer, is saying, "Oh, I'm not employing you because you're black," then nobody should go and work for him, and then he will understand himself. That is what I'm saying. You understand? But what you're doing in a black, no. I cannot. I will not go that place, because I can give you my experience. I went to an all-white school. Well, most of the children in the school was white. At one time, I was the only black child in the school. You understand what I'm saying? I was the only black child in the school. I don't sit down at the back of the class. I had to answer the question last. Even if I knew the answer, everybody had to get a try first. I understand what it is, but we live in a modern world, and there should be zero tolerance for that kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I was trying to get to.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
What are you coming to I wouldn't say a place like that. What are you coming to the Caribbean to do to employ people if you're so racial?
Well, that's true. You have a point there, and I think the laws of the country should protect its citizens against that kind of malpractice. Because to me, it's malpractice that day. You come in nice, you build hotel, you build establishment, you build this, you build that, but you only want to employ shabbing? What kind of thing is that? So is shabbing alone that deserve to make $1?
Well, that person should hire their family then.
Okay, let me ask you a question now. Do you think that there is any kind of redress or soulagement to that kind of issue in St. Lucia?
There's a Department of Labor.
Beautiful.
Who should look into that.
That's beautiful. I like your answer. That is beautiful. And I'm encouraging people who come up against that kind of discrimination to head straight to the Labor Department. Make sure you have your ducks lined up in a row, so that when you see you giving it to them in order of appearance. You understand?
But remember, it's not every time the Department of Labor takes us employees serious.
And why do you think that, sir?
Sometimes they don't check on what you say for days. You have to make more than one trip there before they can do something about it.
I see. Do you think that we as employees, are being held, I don't want to say that I'm prisoner or anything like that, but do you think that the Labor Department in St. Lucia is doing enough to cut out that kind of behavior by employees? By employers, not employers, employees.
No, I don't think they're doing enough.
Not employees, the employer, the person that hiring the people. Say that again, let me hear you.
Honestly, an honest answer, I don't think they're doing enough.
Okay, what do you think?
Because I believe that the Department of Labor should go through every business and make sure that every employer treats every employee with respect.
I agree.
That's the first thing.
Beautiful. And I think for the authorities listening tonight, yes, it is a good thing. I'm not saying that, that the guys down at the Labor Department are not doing their job, or they're not performing. But what I'm saying is that they're not performing.
I never said that.
Yeah, what I'm saying is
I
not you.
I never said they're not doing their job.
Not you. I'm saying me. I'm not saying that.
They just need to be more. Oh,
that's right. They need to be a little bit more, assertive in the handling of their duties. Yeah. They need to be a little bit more proactive. True. People don't have to come to the Labor Department and say, they fire me because I was black. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You go into a place there, the human resource manager calling you, you're a nigger and you're a pauper. I'm tired of this kind of people.
In my country, I wouldn't only... I would not only fly on you.
And then when you finish, the woman want to push the woman out of the office. I'm tired of you. Get out of. You didn't hear the thing, man. What kind of thing?
But I would not only. That's what I'm telling you. I would not only jump on you.
No.
You would get more than that.
But you see the same thing again. That is the kind of behavior that we as a people should not encourage.
Condone.
We cannot condone it. We cannot encourage it. We cannot take it. We're not supposed to do it. Take it. Just move it. That's what's supposed to happen. You understand? Brother man, I thank you for your call tonight.
No problem.
Yes, Chief. Okay, it's about 9 o'clock tonight. It's 9 o'clock. Of course, I want to thank all those of you who participated, those of you who left comments, and of course, those of you who are listening online. Some people are kind of sensitive in some of the things that are discussed here on the show. They like to listen, and of course they take it to heart. Some people actually seek help. I know of about 2 or 3 persons who have actually sought the assistance of the authorities. You Yes, they've sought the assistance of the authorities, based on some of the issues that have been brought up right here on the iRight program. Of course, we are encouraging, of course, to seek redress. There are places, there are institutions where you can your voice can be heard. You can seek help. People, if you are in a relationship that is abusive, my advice to you is get out. Seek help. Call 202, call 203, speak to somebody, get to the police, find a way out of that situation. It could end up in one of you losing your life, and of course the other one going to jail, or both of you losing your life. Okay? Yes. I'd like to end with this, and of course I'm going to say it again. Okay? If you see something going on, you see something that is happening, that is not good, okay, and you pass it straight and you don't say anything, you are part of the problem and not part of the solution. It is your right to speak up. Speak up against it. Speak up. You see it wrong, it's not good, speak up. Don't just sit down there. Speak up. You go to a workplace, there's that kind of discrimination against you, speak up. There are places you can go. There's an institution called the Labor Department. You can go there. You can get redress. Speak up. This has been, of course, another episode of iRight right here on Hitz FM. God's willing, next Monday we will have another exciting program of iRight. I want to say good evening to each and every one of you. Thanks for those of you who participated, who made your contribution, those of you who just listened quietly and of course enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us. My name is Mr. Makari. Until next week, good night.
The Maximum Music Authority hits.
iRight, St. Lucia's latest radio drama.
This man is making me crazy. I cannot deal with this.
With benefits, iRight.
I just can't with all of these responsibilities.
Every Monday.
I hear the truth, and you perpetuating them kind of nastiness.
St. Lucia's latest hot radio drama.
Are you looking to grow your business? Hitz 92.1 and 91.1 is in a class of its own when it comes